I'm Ariana Grande.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Erivo,
And you're listening to the Broadway Podcast Network.
Visit bpn.fm to discover more.
Hi, I'm Wayne Brady, and welcome to the Theater Podcast with your host, Alan Seals.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Theater Podcast. I am your host, Alan Seals, and our guest for this episode is none other than the one and only Wayne Brady. This is a really special episode for me because he's just an absolute legend, and when I was a kid, I remember just watching him, like when I was younger, doing improv and just wishing I had half the talent he's got. When you think of him, you probably think of, the lightning fast improv, the incredible vocals, a career defined by making people laugh. And what really blew me away about this conversation actually is just how he views himself. He admits to being something of a recluse and explains why he never actually inspired to be funny growing up. We get into his very serious work ethic that drives his career and shares one of his most human stories I've ever heard about auditioning for Hamilton. So imagine walking into a room to audition for your friends, freezing up and forgetting the lyrics. Yes, this guy who can make things up on the spot forgot the lyrics when he was auditioning for the Chicago company of Hamilton. He takes us right into that moment and how he recovered from it, just professional, end to end. We also talk about his love for structure, why he prefers a script over improv any day, and his current role playing a horse in All In. It's a fascinating look at the man behind this comedy entertainment legend. So make sure you follow me online, social media, all the places. Find me on Patreon. You can watch the video version on Spotify. And now everybody, please enjoy this episode with Wayne Brady.
Here you go. 1, 2, 3.
Today's guest is a multiple Emmy Award. Emmy Award winner
For lighting, for costuming.
and Grammy nominee. On television, he's known for his work on Whose Line Is It Anyway? The host of Let's Make a Deal. He played James Stinson on How I Met Your Mother. Won season 2 of The Masked Singer and stars in the reality series Wayne Brady, The Family Remix. His extensive resume, Black Lightning, Chappelle's Show, the improv series Make Some Noise on Dropout. On Broadway, he's been on The Wiz, Kinky Boots, Chicago, Freestyle Love, Supreme, and most recently Moulin Rouge. Now he's on Broadway for another week as we drop this episode.
Yeah.
Currently starring in All Out at the Nederlander Theater. Holy shit, man. Wayne Brady.
Hello.
Welcome to the Theater Podcast.
Thank you, man.
And I just have to say, though, Anthony Venezielli is one of my absolute favorite humans in the world.
He is. Shout out to Anthony.
Shout out to Anthony, one of the co-founders of FLS Academy. And it was
He's truly one of the best guys, and I don't really like to throw that around, but one of the best humans that I know. And he's such a good guy that at first you're like, you're not really like that.
Right.
And he is.
Right.
He absolutely is. And what a gifted improviser and musician. And he's one of the smartest cats I know.
Well, he that whole crowd, the Lynn and James Van Eigelhart and Anthony, Chris Jackson, C-Jack and Anissa Folds and like Shockwave. I'm rolling you into all of this. Some of the genuinely nicest, caringest, if that's a word, caringest people, because like literally the whole motif of improv, if you're good at it, is like, I got your back. And that's literally what everyone says to each other on FLS before they go out. I got your back. I got your back.
Absolutely.
You got to have trust. And
it's one of those things I find that I don't always practice it, but I always tell people the rules that you learn from doing improvisation carry over to life so easily that if you follow them, it makes human interaction a little better.
Yep.
And sometimes I have to remind myself, especially if I'm in a bad mood or whatever, but just the yes and of looking somebody in the eye and listening to the active listening and yes anding what they say so that you can have a circular conversation and become engaged and being able to have someone's back and mean it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying just walk around to everybody and saying they got your back, but
Hey, MTA worker, I got
right,
your
got
back.
your back, got your back. But like the people, that's caring. That I take it more than, oh, I got your back on stage and you can count on me. It's when they said, hey, I got your back. It truly is an expression of I've got you in whatever this is,
Yep.
whatever is happening in life right now, and most importantly, I've got your back. I'm putting the trust in it that you've got mine.
Mhm.
So that's just as a basic tenet that it really is one of those things. Like you say, I think for the people that are good at it, because for me, it's not just about being funny on stage. There are a lot of people that can be funny. Cool. There are a lot of people that can master the art. But can you embody all of that so that when we're watching you on stage or when I'm playing with you on stage, what do I feel?
Mhm.
What I feel is going to make me enjoy you even more. And I just think that that's a life lesson.
Well, that's active listening. Like basically what you have to learn to be a good actor, because it's most of what you're doing when you're acting is listening and reacting.
You would
So-
think. You would
hope.
You would hope. Not everyone comes from that school.
No, I mean, yeah, going out there and just being like, I'm selling funny lines. I'm doing my shtick. Like
It's the person that gets the script and the first thing they do, I'm just seeing my lines. I'm just going to go through and get my, versus reading the thing and working out the tactics of how I'm going to talk to you. How do we talk to each other? That's that person.
Well, is that when you're doing improv, are you like coming up with that on the spot of like, all right, this is the character I'm going to be. I'm going to come in, but you always have to have a reason to enter a scene. You're not going to show up and be like, funny line, because that's not going to go anywhere.
Right, but that's even in my line of teaching, even funny line, or I'm going to come, is wrong. You aren't supposed to come in with a funny line. We don't walk in with funny lines in
life.
In life. And if you do, if somebody is the guy who I'm going to say something funny to come in, there's a reason why that person is coming in with something that they think is funny.
Mm-hmm.
So even then, it's not really about the funny piece. I teach immediate character response and development. If I get an external suggestion from the audience, or if I get a suggestion like on Whose Line when we get a suggestion from Aisha, it's in that second when I hear such and such, or you're a this or that, or it takes place in something, it's up to me to immediately be able to come up with the bones of a character, and I flesh it out as we go and as I interact.
Yeah.
Because I've got to listen. So just coming in, I'm going to say something funny, you've already defeated yourself.
Interesting. When you were like, Whose Line was what got me into improv and wanting to perform. I mean, like I'm in mid 40s. Like when it came out, that was at the height of like everything I loved, and I felt like out the four of you on Whose Line, it was basically you, Colin, and like the Ryan Stiles.
Yep.
Yeah. So Ryan Stiles, Colin Mockery, you, and then the fourth was kind of a rotating person, but everyone kind of had their own lanes, if that makes sense. Like I always saw you as the singer.
Well, see, that's wrong, because I am an incredible improviser.
Well, I know.
Who I do characters. I'm the singer because I was put into that lane because our producer and the creator of the show, Dan Patterson, that's how he sees things. So he's like, oh, Ryan and Colin, you will always do helping hands because you're funny at that. Now, Grant, anybody on that stage could do that thing, but he just is, that's just the very, that was a part of the show's success, is he was like, I'm putting people with things that I know that they do well. That's great. But we all were good at characters. A lot of what I do on the show is I was known actually for the songs, but I could do all these characters at the drop of a dime.
Yeah.
So to me, I wasn't the singer. I was the guy that did the characters and I sang.
Right.
So even though we were sent into channels, which later when we did the second version with Aisha, once I became an EP, and we're just like, it's like, look, we're all going to have fun. We're going to mix things up because we do all these things.
I was going to ask about that. Like if you felt kind of pigeonholed at that time, as like saying you're only going to be the character guy there, or the singer guy, and like Colin and Ryan are going to be over there doing the one-liners or whatever they're like, because to your point, yes, I agree with you that you're all amazing improvisers, and it's just kind of turning up one dial or dialing down another to see whatever the character needs or whatever the scene needs. Yeah.
I mean, frustrated wouldn't be the word, because keep in consideration as well, I was very blessed and lucky to have, I was lucky to get that gig, and they were lucky to have me. It was a beautiful marriage. So I was not about complaining. I live by the belief of get in where you fit in. So even if I have a thought about, it took a lot of maturity for me, even when I talk to my buddy Will, or I look at something like All Out, or anything that you're part of an ensemble, even Freestyle Love Supreme. It takes a lot of skill to be able to carry a show. I've carried shows for decades now. I can walk on any stage and rock it, and I am the centerpiece. I have no problem doing that. It takes a bigger skill to be able to go, you know what? I'm part of 4 now. Let me play my part. So my whole thing is get in where you fit in, because I'm so good, you're still going to like my shit. And I'm still going to have fun. Yeah. You're still going to enjoy it. But I'm going to play my role. So even in the earlier Who's Lines, of course I was frustrated, because I was this young Bronco wanting to do, no, you got to let me do all these things, because I do all these things. I do them in the other shows. Blah, 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 blah. But it also helped me, the fact that I knew that every singing challenge was going to be mine. I got really great at that skill set. I'd done it live before, but to the point where that was the thing that I was always called on, I needed to be ready. So I was like, okay, what do I need to do to be ready? I need to know all these different genres, and I need to start doing impressions. I need to learn these things. So it was actually a blessing. So it gave me a skill set. It made me work at that skill set. And then gradually, as trust increased, I started doing things like World's Worst and all these other things. Once Dan and Mark saw that I wasn't a one-trick pony, they of course said, well, let's give Wayne more responsibility. And I was able to rise to the occasion. So I think it's a lesson in life. Maybe you're not doing everything that you can do. But wait, as long as you do the thing that you've been asked, you will get your shot.
And do it well.
And you do. That's the thing. It's like being the closest that I could say is like an ensemble member, right? Or an understudy or a cover. Just you're itching, scratching to get in. You're like, I'm so good. Why am I back here? Why am I back here? Well, that's what you were hired for.
Pretty much every lead has been a cover or a standby before they were a lead.
Just be really great at that, and people notice.
Yep.
That's one of the things that I try to tell in my acting classes as well, is like, look, it's not all about what you can do on stage. It's also what you don't do, and it's also about what people see you do. So much of your journey on stage is affected by what happens backstage or off camera. Oh man, I hate when he doesn't. Blah, blah, blah. Somebody's watching. Somebody's watching that. Just know that.
Someone in the crew, someone on the production team.
Someone in the crew. Someone saying,
man,
that guy's talented, but God, you hear he's always bitching about.
Blah, blah,
blah, blah, blah. That gets around. People hire the people, and I wish young Wayne would have all known all these lessons. These are things that I learned, sometimes in the hard way. These are things that I learned. People want to be around the people that they like. Even if you're talking about a massive Broadway show, millions and millions, $20 million budget, is it at the heart of it? You think a director really wants to show up and deal with you if you're not a joy to be around with?
And if someone else is already cast ahead of you and they don't like you,
come on,
then you never even get the audition.
Hey, do you know who I'm thinking of casting? Oh, who? Such and such.
Oh, no, don't do that.
No, don't do that. That's not.
Well, you grew up, little Wayne, Lil Wayne? Yeah.
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne grew up in Orlando with your grandmother, Valerie, and you've talked about her as your rock.
Mm-hmm.
Like, talk about that. And did she get you into performing? Did she set kind of like your moral compass going, or where did all that come from?
She didn't get me into performing. In fact, I like to tell the story that I'm so happy that I had so much time with her, that she got to taste all the fruits of me getting somewhere, from being able to come to my first Who's Line taping, to she was at the first taping of the first variety show that I got, the Wayne Brady show on TV. She was at my talk show. She was at the Emmys with me. when I first headlined in Vegas, the first time coming out here, she always wanted to introduce me to caviar. So we went to the Russian tea room when I was playing the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. But I would make fun of her all the time because growing up, whenever she would see me singing or dancing in my room or doing all this stuff, she'd say, Wayne, stop all that nonsense, that jumping up and down, all that study. Don't do that. So I'd say, Mom, so what about all that nonsense and that jumping up? And I said, you did okay.
You did.
And she would tease me, and yeah, man, that was my chick. She definitely set my work ethic. She set the work ethic. She set my work ethic. My grandfather set my work ethic. My father set my work ethic. Being from the Virgin Islands, I think if you talk to anyone of Caribbean or island descent, or any immigrant, I'm first generation here in mainland.
Mm-hmm.
We are taught the only way that you're going to make it in this place is you work. You put your head down and you work. So I just took what she taught me, and no, I didn't go to school to be a lawyer for it or a banker, but I put that towards my chosen goal of what can I do? I'm going to make this happen. Let's go.
Literally what you were just saying, do what you're going to do, what you're given to do it well, and be the person that everyone wants to work with again.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't matter if you're a banker or a lawyer or an improviser.
Absolutely. But for me, because that's what they wanted. They wanted, there was a lot of upset people in my household when I graduated high school. And A, I decided to turn down a few scholarships that I had. And B, that I was just going to act.
When did you know that, though? When did you know that was your path?
I knew that. I've known that since I could put that thought in my head.
Really?
Growing up watching Broadway on great performances on PBS, which, oh God, R.I.P. PBS. Oh, Jesus, that just makes me so angry.
Yep.
So many of what I think so many of us have learned came from PBS and those shows. And I remember watching Ain't Misbehaving with the original cast. And I watched Ben Vereen and Pippin. I would watch old movies of Sammy Davis Jr. I was a big Danny Kaye fan.
Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick commercial break. All right, everyone. Now we're back. You put the vessel in the pestle. Wait, what's the whole thing?
The vessel in the pestle, the more...
Because something about the brood that is true.
The vessel in the pestle, and the mood that is true. The vessel in the pestle, that is one of my dreams, is to be able to do a remake of
The
Danny
Court Jester?
Kaye's. Well, I would love to do The Court Jester, which is where that's from. But I'd actually love to do Wonder Man.
Oh.
Wonder Man, we were trying, like my old manager, Bernie Brillstein, we were trying to get the rights years ago, but the film studio still had them. That's one of the things that I grew up in. And I remember, like, I was groomed on shows like reruns of Sid Caesar Show, Ernie Kovacs, Danny Kaye, Sammy Davis Jr., his variety shows, The Rat Pack, Nat King Cole, Harry Belafonte, plus all of the musical theater pieces. So once I saw that, I was like, I don't know how, I don't know when, but that's what I'm doing. You can't stop me. And I never even wanted to go into comedy, but I didn't know that I was prepping myself. I grew up on British comedy. I grew up watching Benny Hill and the sketch group called The Goodies. I grew up on Monty Python. And all of the British dramas like Upstairs, Downstairs, and all those things. So I had that bubbling in the back of my head. So this particular sensibility. So I didn't know later how in life all that little melange would create the Wayne that would be on stage. But I knew I was going to do it. I knew I was going to do that.
And well, then in high school and whatnot, were you still performing, like doing local theater, or were you trying to improvise? Because in Orlando, there's tons you can do even when you're not 18 yet.
Well, at that point, all the stuff that you could do hadn't really developed yet. I was there when all that stuff was coming up. So it wasn't until I think I was 15 or 16, and then I was 15, and I auditioned. Well, I was given a role in the school play because I replaced a guy that I was in ROTC with, and I had this moment of fame. You know, the hot lunch scene where you walk in and boom, ding, 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 and folks are playing on the piano, running around. It's like, this is my tribe. And my drama teacher, Karen, who is still a close friend to me, and I'm working with her right now on something, she saw something in me and said, "You're really good." And she was Wesley Snipes' teacher beforehand. She taught him at Evans High School, and she was responsible to getting Wesley on stage. And he'd acted before he moved to Orlando. He's from New York, but she's the one that put him on this path, helped get him into SUNY Purchase. And so Wesley was like my North Star. She was like, "Hey, I can give you the skill set like Wesley." And that's all I knew in high school. I was like, I want that. And so I was like, "What do I have to do?" She's like, "You have to do plays." "Sure, I'll do plays." So I did the plays, I did the musicals, and I didn't know how the business of acting worked, but I auditioned for that play for her, Dark of the Moon, rousing success. My first role, I got applause. That first
you got applause, full stop.
That's a mainlining. I think that's when people become really screwed up. That is mainlining a dopamine hit that is unparalleled to, I would venture, even better than sex. Getting that, "You liked what I did. I must be good at it. I'm an actor. I'm going to audition for something professionally." I didn't know that wasn't the way it works. So I auditioned immediately for a local production of, Raisin in the Sun. And I got it. I was like, this auditioning thing is easy. I just got a show, and now I'm being paid for it? That's great. And I was very lucky. I was one of a few young Black actors in Orlando at that time. So I would just audition. I got Richie in chorus line at the Mark II Dinner Theater. I did I'm Not Rappaport, all these other things. And it just made me, it just justified my belief in myself that this was going to be my thing.
So you were performing and auditioning and doing straight plays and musicals, but where did SAC Comedy Lab come in?
It came in after I graduated high school. I was doing an industrial film, and I met Claire Sarah, who I credit as my improv teacher. She's the lady. She and her husband Will owned SAC, and we were doing an industrial film, and stupid young Wayne was trying to hit on her, and she patted me on the head. It's like, "Aw, you're so cute." So, but I'm married, and B, I'm married, and you're a child, but you're funny. I was like, really? Being funny was never my thing. I never saw myself as funny, never wanted to be funny, never aspired to be funny. Because, and this is just my personal belief. So any stand-up or any sketch performer that hears me, please take this with a grain of salt. Maybe it's because I am pompous and take myself very seriously. It's just a byproduct of my childhood. Because if I didn't take myself seriously, who was going to? Sketch and improvisers annoy the shit out of me. Stand-ups annoy the shit out of me because by nature, I'm a very quiet and reclusive person.
Are you really?
Yes. So being in a room where everyone is like, "Hey, bongo bingo." No, bingo bongo. Who's the clown? Who's juggling now? Juggle these nuts. I'm a nut for you. Okay, zip, zap, zop. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Stop. I am not, ask my daughter. She's like, "Dad is not fun." So it was a very odd thing for her to go, "You're funny." I was like, "I was just talking." She goes, "Yeah, you're fun. But that character that you did, you're a good actor." I said, "Yeah, I'm an actor." Because two things can be true, Wayne. Okay. So what do you want me to do? She goes, "Well, come down to our space and come to a workshop." I said, "Well, what's improv?" It's spontaneous
Wait, you were hitting on this lady outside of working with her first?
Oh, no, I was working with her at the industrial film.
Oh, okay. And she brought you down. Okay,
right. And that's when she pat me on the head.
Okay,
which is still one of my favorite moments. And then, so when she explained to me what improvisation was, I switched when I went, oh, you mean making stuff up? Because I said, oh, I do that all the time. So even though I'm a recluse and I was always, because, I've got that story that everybody's got, but I was bullied because I had a very strong accent because I was raised by my grandparents. I had a very strong accent. And I was one of 2 black kids bussed from my school in the gifted program. So I got shit in the neighborhood and blah, blah, blah. And I just never felt like I fit in anywhere. And I was told that I didn't fit in anywhere. Oh, you're too black. You're too this. So I was like, you know what? I don't need to speak to you. It's best if I don't talk to anybody. I'll keep my own counsel. I learned that lesson very young. Always
So you got
doesn't
quiet.
serve you in life. So I got my books. I've got these TV shows. I've got music. I'll make stuff up by myself. I'll play by myself,
Mm-hmm.
which some folks go, oh, that's so sad. No, are you kidding me? That was the best thing that ever happened to me because I learned in an environment. Now, if let's say that you wanted to do that, you would take a sabbatical and go away to do a workshop. I'm going to workshop for 6 weeks to get in touch with my inner this, or I'm going to go to UCB to work with it. It's like, I gave myself that as a kid. I said, I'm going to turn this box into a TV. And I'm going to imagine that I'm watching something. I'm going to put this hat on and I'm a pirate. And I'm going to learn that voice. And I'm going to learn I'm an ape. But I'm not going to try to be a funny ape. I'm trying to watch how these guys move and really how they walk. Because I don't know when I'm ever going to use it, but that's really interesting. I'm going to learn to speak in this British accent like the guy in this movie's doing. I'm going to learn this stuff. I did all that in a bubble. Didn't know that I was preparing for that. So I'm going to write my own stories because I don't like the story that's on TV. So I'm going to write this and then I'm going to do all the voices. Didn't know that I'd be a voiceover artist someday. I'm going to write these songs because I don't like that song. I'm going to write my own song. I didn't know I'd be an improviser that could write songs on the spot or an actual songwriter that is written on records. I didn't know any of those things. All I knew was at that second, this kid just wanted to make stuff up. So when she said, yeah, that's what it is, I went, done. But never, because I was in the bubble, never did I think that making stuff up was funny. I knew it was creative, but when I saw the workshop, the first time I came in, and just like that dopamine hit from you get that first applause, as annoying as you do find the zip, zap, zap crowd, the thing I do love about my improvisers and that fellowship, we were talking about Anthony and Freestyle Love Supreme and other people. When you're in a room full of like-minded people, you all share the same part of the zeitgeist. You all have this thing. So we all share the same shorthand. So if I start talking about superheroes and I do a thing and I stand there, I put my arms akimbo, you immediately go, Captain. We're on the same page. I'd never been around people like that before. It's like, oh, we all speak the same language.
Yeah.
My mind blown. Then I was like, okay, teach me what this is because I'm going to be great at it. That's always been my thing in life. I'm like, what am I doing? Because I'm going to crush this shit. Let's go. So I learned the tenets and I couldn't afford to pay for classes. So I became an unpaid intern. I swept the floor. I came in, I tidied up. I sat in on classes, just watching, learning these games, learning the fundamentals, learning, taking it in. And then I became a junior member of the company. And then we formed a theater sports league, if any of you are familiar with theater sports. And it was definitely at that point, I credit SAC Theater with being my comedy college that I didn't even know that I needed or wanted, that it really did become. And I was already prepping myself because I grew up on all these old comedies. I was already learning the rhythms of what makes something funny. And as you know, it is a science. So that's why sometimes when I say I never found myself funny, or I don't think of it, because I think that when people are just like, I'm funny. No, you're just loud. No,
There is a difference.
there is a difference. No, you're just loud. Funny is if you're stand-up, why did this one word make this joke work? Why is K funny?
Yeah.
Why do people laugh at dirty jokes that end in, and I don't offend anybody listening, but why is it different when someone says cock? You go, that's such a bad word. It's so stupid. Why are fricatives funny? Plosives work. Why does this happen? If you say something like this, or if you don't say anything, and then learning the art of, I'm not going to say anything right here. I'm just going to sit.
The second wave of
I'm going to sit
laughter.
back really quietly and then jump in. Why do I have to speed that thing up? Those are things that I was learning. It's like, yes, this is, yes. And we did original plays there at the lab too.
Oh, yeah?
So I was learning character funny. It's like, oh, last night that didn't get a reaction because I sped through it. Maybe tonight I'll say the line, but I will look at everybody else and ask if that's okay. And that worked. Got you. These are these things. And it was beautiful. I will forever be grateful to SAC Theater, to SAC Comedy Lab as my family. And then later, 7 of us moved from Orlando to LA, and we formed a group called the House Full of Honkies. So I even owe them, like the group, some of us don't talk anymore. You know, that's just life and show business. But I will forever love and embrace them. They and that teaching, that's the reason that I was able to get Whose Line, that I was being prepped and didn't even know it.
That's really, really cool. And like that whole infrastructure, though, is it different for you doing a stage play than like just getting a one-word thing and like letting your mind wander? Because there's a trust in yourself you have to have that you've developed through improv college, you know, your unofficial improv college. But then when you're given a script, does it bother you to have constraints, or does it matter either way?
Come on now. You know that's a silly question.
Well, no, some people...
Because
some
you're an
people,
actor.
Yeah, that's true.
No. It doesn't No, because a script is a script. And like I'd say, see addendum 1 in the back, I'm an actor.
Sure.
So nothing makes me more comfortable than a script. Because there's a boundary. There's your script. There's the character. It's on the page. Now, do I love improvising? Of course. And I'm joking with you about it being a silly question because you're not the first, you're not the 40th, you're not the 100th person. Because reporters always go, is it weird that you're actually reading? It's like, no, I read good. Yes, I love scripts. I actually think it's a beautiful marriage is having the page, trusting yourself, and having the muscle, right?
Mm-hmm.
If something goes wrong, my thing is, give me the structure so that if anything goes off the rails, well, now we're playing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good. Now I'm in it. Just having that in the back. But I do love telling a good story. I love that's one of my joys, is I love being of service to someone's piece and to lose myself in the character, which is why Lil Wayne, shout out to Weezy F baby. Why I think it's that thing that a lot of us as actors have is I would have been A-okay if nobody ever knew my name. Because if that means being a character actor, like there are a lot of brilliant character actors, you know, the people that you see on TV that you're like, that's that guy from the thing and from the other thing, but he's amazing. You don't need to know their name.
Yeah.
As long as I get to be those characters enough that I can pay my bills and I'm well off in it, great. So being in a position where folks do know my name, that's a bonus. But I always just wanted to be a character. I just wanted to be able to slip into something and to do that, like to just get lost in it. Like that's the Wayne that just always wanted to be in a thing.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick commercial break. All right, everyone. Now we're back.
And you've done Lola and Kiki Boots, and you've done Aaron Burr in the Chicago production of Hamilton. So, I mean, like 2 vastly different characters. Do you have a preference of the serious characters versus like a comedic, you know, can go kind of nuts when improvised moments happen?
I don't think I've ever looked at it in terms, God, and I hope I'm not coming across as really pretentious. It's just that I've never looked at it that way. Because just like people can be weird and big in real life, that we all know someone who is so outlandish that if you wrote that person, a network exec would go, that's a little too big, buddy. You got to pull that back. So those stories are real. Like there are real people who are big, loud, crazy, funny, but even those people have Twilight of the Soul moments. And that's what I love. That, yes, I can be like in Lola. When I tell you that Lola changed my life, Lola/Simon, Lola changed my life. I love Lola so much. Thank you so much to Jerry for that opportunity. Thank you for Billy for wanting to pass that on. Thank you to Harvey. It is because what a rich, when else would I get a chance to play a British drag queen, former boxer? That's a very that sings and dances his ass off. That is a very narrow track. And I think that with my Lola, the script, he did an amazing job on the script. The script is funny and heartwarming and charming. The funny part was never a problem. I saw funny as when Lola is being this big, I'm 6 foot in the heels, I'm 6'4", 6'5" in some, this big ass person that stomps into the room like, darling, look at this. Oh, and everything. Just bring it. There's a pain behind that person that you meet later when Not My Father's Son and whatnot happened. So I worked, like I was like, these lines are going to be fine. I just need to make everything else really believable.
In between the lines.
In between the lines. So that it's not a one trick pony, so that you really believe me when the makeup is off and as proud. And I love Lola so much because in the heels, I've never stood taller. My posture's never been better. In the heels and in the outfit, I felt so powerful, so that when you come in as Simon into the shop and I don't have any of that armor on, I can't use the self-deprecating wit anymore and everything is foreign and scares me. That was closer to Wayne. So I was really able to feel that and tap into that, so that when I could be Lola and joyous and big and boisterous, that really popped. And that taught me a lot as an actor. And I loved that chance. And then as Burr, oh man, I friggin' loved Burr. In fact,
there's a lot of depth.
I want to go back. I want to go back and do it again because I learned so much. Part of what I feel is my skill set that I developed and that I know about me, because we all have tricks. This isn't necessarily a trick. I think it's a human observation. I never want to play anybody, even when I've played bad guys on TV series. I never want to be a mustache twirler. Because a bad guy...
Whiplash.
I've tied you to the train tracks. Because I think, right, the bad guy never sees himself as the bad guy.
Right.
Because they've got their shit,
it's their version of truth.
Their agenda. And the good guy, he's the good guy because he feels that version of the truth is bad and will hurt people.
Yeah.
So to me, Burr wasn't the bad guy. Burr shot Hamilton. I would argue, and I've talked to Lin about this when I saw it, like Hamilton trod upon so many people in his desire to be great. And I can also connect with that. I've trod upon folks not even meaning to. When you're young, you're like, no, I'm going to be good. Get out of my way. I'm going to be his goals were so, and he was why do you write like you're running out of time? You want to be, I need to get to that place because I don't know if like in my household, and my daughter makes fun of this, super religious family. Every time that I would say, Mom, I love you. I'll talk to you later, or I'll be back. If God spares your life, if God spares my, so I grew up knowing at any time. So you mean, Mama, that I could walk outside and die? The good Lord will take you. Well, why would he want to take me right now? That's his way. Why is that his way? So I grew up with this thing of, oh shit. And then my dad died at 45. So I was really like, I need to get good and successful at this thing because I'm going to die at 45. I honestly thought that I was going to die at 45.
Wow.
So I saw that in Hamilton. But then in Burr, I was like, because I saw Leslie's masterful original take on this. And I shout out to Leslie. He's turned into one of our greats. And I love watching that. He's one of our greats. And that brother, and he also is also never too busy to give love back. So I love you, Leslie. And in watching his, I was like, well, his way, he's so commanding. and so forceful. I don't want to mimic his. What's my truth? And mine was, I feel like Burr. I feel like the difference is he came from money. I certainly didn't. But he wants to do the right thing, and he wants to be seen as capable. And he goes out of his way to be nice to this kid who bothers him at first, but he's like, sure, may I give you some words of advice? And kind of checks in on him, is actually affable. He's a victim of wanting to be good.
Yeah.
And is that bad? He didn't want to be like Hamilton and at any cost. He just wanted to be good. He just wanted to be seen and recognized. And I saw that. So I was like, you know what? My Burr is going to be likable. Whenever you see him interact with Hamilton, you're going to really see the difference. Like, hey, and one of my favorite scenes for that is at right before Wait For It, the scene when they're making fun of Burr. Burr, and he's like, okay, thanks. And he has this really nice little conversation with Hamilton, and you see for a second into his heart, and that's when he starts talking about why he's going to wait for it, and you get the gist of his thing of all these things that I want. It's worth it, and I'm going to make it happen. I'll wait for it. I will put in this work. I will make this happen. I will achieve my heart's desire. And first time I sang it, I cried my eyes out because I'm like, that's me. That I'm sometimes that misunderstood guy who just wants this love. And I found that in my Burr. He was sweet until he couldn't be, because now you've shit on me one too many times. You're one of those people that take my kindness, you mistake my meekness for weakness, and now you're done.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the people that slow to anger, but now you've done it. And I love that role so much. Thank you so much, Tommy and Lynn, for the show, but thank you, Tommy, for that call.
Tommy Kail called you up.
Yeah, man. After I auditioned. Oh, so don't think that was an offer only. Awkward. I auditioned in front of my friends that I'd already worked with. I wanted that show.
Oh my goodness.
So I had to prove, but that's okay. I think part of what we have to do as actors is, you know what? No matter what your name is or where you get, sometimes you have to prove yourself. And I'm always down to prove, because I believe in me. You may not know yet. Maybe you only think of me as a singer, not you. I'm not pointing at you. I'm saying that somebody, because casting agents and directors sometimes don't have vision. They're like, this is what I want. He's not a thug. I don't believe that he could fight that person. Okay, I guess I got to come in the room and show you. That's the thing. So when I get the call from my agent that, casting wants to see you, from like, oh, let me just, hey, Tommy, man, so I would love to do the show. Great, man. So when are you auditioning? Like, oh, a gulp. I guess my appointment's next week. I'll fly in and just read with the reader but I wanted it. I wanted it badly, and I wanted it to do it to impress my daughter. Because my daughter, this is at the height, of course, like when it first started.
Yeah.
So anybody in Hamilton was a rock star, and she, to have my daughter look at me, she was 12 then. Her look at me. It wasn't even a question. Daddy, when are you going to do Hamilton? I was like, oh, of course I'll do it.
She believes in you.
Of course I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I've got to go to New York for a meeting with them to just, just sing. I probably was like, not an audition, but like a meeting where I'm singing.
And trying to get the part.
It's, I got it. Flew in. Rapped, sang in front of the associates, and I said, hey, Bernie, who I've known my entire career, and then got back on the plane. Like, surely, TV's Wayne Brady, who just sang the shit out of those things and rapped, I'll get it, right? Hey, your callback is for the what? My what? My what? Why you come back? Hey, Dad, you got another meeting in New York? Yep. Got another meeting to talk about. Just gonna work out the details of like when I'm gonna do the show. And if I'm gonna do the show. One of the funniest, awkward for me, it's my side of the fence, not them, awkward for me moments, which also helps regulate pride and ego, walking into the room with my boy Lin, who I've been on stage with, who I know, who I've worked with on camera, my boy Tommy, who I've hung out with, Alex, who we're all friends. But, and this is what I try to teach young actors, we can be friends, but this is business now.
Mm-hmm.
This is Lin and Tommy's and everyone involved. This is their multi, some would say billion at this point, dollar enterprise, who the bar has been set here. They are not about stunt casting or we aren't going to, Billy Ray Cyrus is not going to be, no shade to Billy Ray Cyrus. The only reason that name popped into my head is because back in the day, did you know that Billy Ray Cyrus did Billy Flynn?
No.
Look up the video. No shade to Billy. So I'm just using that as an example because as we know, the show that is dear to I love Chicago. I've got many friends in it, but you know, they've cast the occasional, hey, look at me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be on the stage.
Ticket seller.
I'm a ticket seller. That's cool.
Yeah.
Hamilton's not doing that. They don't need to do that. Never will they need to do that. They don't care to do that. So Wayne, my friend, I've had you at my house. We've had drinks. I love you, brother. You're going to audition for my show. Good on them. Good on them. Because what if I get put into the role of Burr and I tank it? What if? I know I'm not going to, but then that is a dark spot on a pedigree that is already set at one of the world's best musicals.
For you and them.
For me. Yes, and that's what sometimes people don't get. Well, why don't I get it? This should be an offer. Even well-known guys I know that are, you know, that have names and been around is like, it's offer only all the time. That's cool. I'm glad that works for you. I don't have that problem. I love getting offers only, and I do, but I also love going in that room and going here. And it doesn't always work out for me. It doesn't always work out for me. I auditioned for Tina, didn't get it, and that was my fault. I wasn't truly prepared. I auditioned.
You don't have the legs for it.
I don't have the. Actually, I do. Case in point, see my photos as Lola. I was fine as hell. But I walked in the room, man, and there's Tommy and Lin, and we start playing. How does a bastard, orphan, son of a whore, and I'm trying to not look at Lin. I'm looking over his head, but then boom, they're really playing it. So I'm getting into it. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. This is my audience. So then I get in Lin's face and I'm rapping the thing. I'm doing the whole thing. And I crushed it. I know I crushed it. Then we sang, wait for it. Crushed it. I know I crushed it. I was so nervous though. I do know that, I was doing the other song. Oh my God, my memory. And what's the passage that starts off? Oh, the room where it happens. I was so nervous that we were doing the Mr. Aaron Burr and Mr. Burr, sir, did you hear the one about you that? And so I got through all that, and then my mind's like, so close, don't fuck it up. I'm so close about it. And then I want to be in the room. I missed a whole section, and I went right to the chorus. And then I remember whoever was playing was like, whoa. But then I said, stop, y'all. I'm so sorry. You know what? I'm going to start over. They're like, oh yeah, start over. I was like, which is what I always teach young students. It's your audition. Take control. I was so friggin' nervous because at that point, I didn't want to let my friends down. Because just like casting directors, which we also have to tell ourselves, and like my buddy Will, I give him the credit for giving me this piece of knowledge. I want to be the answer or the solution to their problem. We as actors should always go, oh, I'm the guy to fix your problem.
Mm-hmm.
You need that role cast. Well, I'm going to help you now because I'm going to walk in.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to let them down because how awkward that we are friends. And God, guys, Wayne wasn't, he's like, oh, but we're going to see him at the improv show next week.
I'm going to hang out again.
And we're gonna, oh shit. So what do we do? So I didn't want to put them in that place, and I didn't want to put me, and most importantly, I didn't want to get on the plane and
Your daughter?
have to play a harmonica and go, Daddy didn't get the job. Daddy is a failure. Daddy hosts a game show. I didn't. Congratulations for college money. I didn't want life to be that. But I knew when I was finished. Plus, it's weird. The folks the audition hub. Thank you. Say, oh, thank you so much. Thank you. It was more like, okay, I finished it. They're like, oh man, great, thanks, brother. Good to see. Hey, so all right, blah blah blah. We're talking, and then like, oh, this is the part where I leave. So I get on the plane and I leave. Of course, now I'm going to hear back immediately because, guys, I'm your friend. I've flown myself into New York twice. Of course, I'm getting the role. Let's just talk about it.
Nothing. Crickets.
That was in July. I did not hear about, and this is when I called you. It was in November or December, right? Well, I was doing Merrily We Roll Along for Michael Arden in Los Angeles. When I tell you, it was 2.5 to 3 months of I no longer could listen to Hamilton. Like my daughter played it when we were driving to school. We sang everything together. I couldn't listen to it. The question of, Daddy, when are you going to, it was like it would come from all, Daddy, when are you going to do the show, Daddy. My dad's a failure. My dad sucks. And I'd have these dreams. I'm like, I'm horrible. Until I get this call at 6:00 in the morning from Kevin Lynn, my theatrical agent here. Wayne, are you sitting down? No, I'm in bed. Well, then sit up. And at that second, I went, wait a minute. Is this? Yes, don't tell me, wait. I got up out of my bed. Miley, come here. She ran from her room. We jumped on my bed. I put Kevin on speakerphone. What is it, Kevin? Casting would love to offer you the role of Burr in the Chicago company, replacing Josh Henry. We both, my daughter and I, stood up on my bed, jumping up and down, ring around the rosy, screaming and yelling at the top of our lungs.
Oh.
And I love that memory because that is one of the times when I tell you I've truly fought for something, and it was rewarded because I was prepared. I didn't rely on, oh, they'll give me slack. I knew that score inside and out, except for when I had to start over because of nerves. But I was ready. I was so ready that when we started music rehearsals, I already knew that. I was like, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just go. I rehearsed for 2 weeks and I was in the show.
Wow.
I was, boop.
That's good.
Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick commercial break. All right, everyone. Now we're back. I could talk to you forever. I want to talk about All Out, your current project. So when this drops, you're going to be in it for another week. For those who don't know, another Alex Timbers project. Love this dude.
Bam. Alex Timbers. Another one.
Tell us what this is. Just explain it and what is your role in this thing?
Very simple explanation that I see it. It's a 4-piece ensemble comedy, reading the works and the writings of Simon Rich, former SNL writer and academic and intelligentsia at large. The show is about ambition and people just trying to make it and the struggles of making it in business. The set reflects that. It's a 70s wooded walnut panel set starring the band Lawrence, where Gracie, I am a Tony nominee, Grammy nominee, Lawrence as the female vocalist, and her brother Clyde as band leader and co-vocalist, backed by the band Lawrence. They'll play then a scene or a monologue. And the scenes and monologues range from the absurd and funny to comedy with a little bit of pathos. And it's a revolving cast of beloved American comedic actors and stand-ups, and as of this listening, it's myself and SNL alum Cecily Strong and Beck Bennett, and comedic tour de force himself, Jim Gaffigan.
And you all inhabit, like, you do different characters throughout the show. So is that something?
Yes.
So is that something? Again, it goes back to preference, right? Do you like being able to flip between the different characters that you're playing, or do you prefer to have like one main character you sink into throughout a whole show?
I think in something like this, I love being able to do different things, because it's great to be able to you're the narrator in one, and then you're a small character in another, and then you're the bigger character in this one. My centerpiece is a monologue called Otzi, which is a horse telling his story of being Paul Revere's best friend and horse, and seeing it through his eyes. And it is one of my favorite parts of the show. And not just saying it because I'm doing it. Even when I saw it and I saw Eric Andre do it, it is my favorite part because I love those characters. Part of what I love and what I think I excel at, even doing improvisation, is I love being something weird and making the weirdness grounded. So being a talking horse.
That's weird.
That's weird, but then having the physicality of the horse, and your tail is brushing away flies sometimes, but then you pull out a cigarette and you're holding it in your hoof. Being able to make those little nuances, that's what I love doing. So Otzi, and his story is it's like he gets betrayed by Paul and caught up in the show business of it all. It's so cool.
That's funny.
Well, and I'm such a fan that I'm a fan of other actors and creatives, and I'm on stage watching three people that I think are ridiculously good. So and I get to listen to Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a no-brainer for me.
When you're with those types of people, you said they're the zip zap zop,
yes,
the zip zap zop folks. Is that one of these things where, like, backstage or even on stage, you're trying to one up each other, or are you all at a level? I feel like you're all professional enough.
It's more like that. It's kind of the elevated thing of. Plus, you have to keep in mind that we're all. I'm not going to say we're old, because I'm not old, but we're older than younger comedians who maybe have that energy and that thing to prove to each other backstage. Nobody on that stage needs to prove a resume. So instead, it's genuine. So if I am saying something silly to make you laugh, it's because I respect you and because you've made me laugh, and it's genuine. It's not. I think the zip zap zop energy sometimes comes out of proving yourself, that I'm going to prove to everyone in this room. Nobody's proving themselves backstage. It's very much, it's grown. Yeah, everybody's grown.
Yeah, you know that you are liked and accepted. You don't have to, like, solicit that from peers.
Hey, do you think I'm funny? Do you think I'm good?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, and here's newsflash, therapy and mental health call. Even if you didn't think I was funny, okay.
Not everyone's cup of tea.
I'm in the same show as you, and I'm on stage with you, and I hear what the audience does when they say my name. So I'm good. I have nothing to prove right now. I'm here to have fun. But luckily, everyone that I've met in this show, they're all sweet. They're all adults. I damn near teared up when Ben Schwartz left because I loved working with that dude. And now Beck's here, and now I get to make a new buddy. Yeah, man, it's great.
Well, I feel like I could talk to you, listen to you tell stories forever, but we do have to end this at some point. So let's start winding down.
Let's wind down.
With plot in 60 seconds.
Ooh, okay.
So I have 17 musicals on my screen. You give me a number 1 through 17. I will tell you what you chose. You give me the plot to that in 60 seconds or less.
Even if I don't know it?
Even if you don't, especially if you don't know it.
Okay. 1 through 17?
Yep.
14.
14 is Beauty and the Beast. Go.
60 seconds
There's a girl
remaining.
named Belle. She lives in a French village. She is the favorite child of her father, who happens to be a merchant. She has two sisters, I believe. The two sisters, just greedy. Give me this, Daddy. Give me that, Daddy. Belle just says, Daddy, all I want when you go out of seas is just give me a
45
rose. The other girls are like,
remaining.
bitch, you crazy. Daddy, I want a fur. Daddy goes out. He tries to bring back. His ship is wrecked. He washes up on shore. He washes. Oh, beautiful garden. I'm picking this. Roar. Oh my God, it's a beast. The beast, he throws him in chains. He's
30
like,
seconds
you
remaining.
took my stuff. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, you got to give me something of equal value. My daughters? Weird, right? Goes back. Belle, you have to go. She goes, Daddy, I'll sacrifice myself. The other daughters are like, better you than me, bitch. She goes back. All of a sudden, the
15
China's
seconds
singing and
remaining.
dancing. He's not so bad. He's like, oh, I'm really a beast. This is the story. I was bad to the switches. The whole thing happened. La, 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 la. We said, there's a real man inside. Oh, Gaston, I'm racist. And then they live happily ever after.
One.
Because you cannot tell me that Gaston was not racist. So there.
No, he probably supports destroying PBS.
He is a MAGA bro.
He is a MAGA bro. All right, simply 3 standard closing questions. First one is just what motivates you?
Now, my family. My family motivates every decision that I make.
What advice would you give to your younger self and younger people listening now, starting out down a similar path?
Trust your instincts. Sometimes when you know what you do and you feel like an odd bird, it's better to stick to what you do than changing it, because that's the thing that makes you really unique. It sounds like some PBS advice, but trust me, once I leaned into, oh, this is my thing, I became successful.
Mm.
This is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And know who you are and believe who you are, because this business is designed. It's not personal. It's just the way that it is. It's a subjective art. A lot of people will tell you that you're bad. A lot of people will say no. And that's just what it is. It doesn't mean you are bad, or it doesn't mean that you are not cut out for this.
All right, last question. Hardest one. If you could only see one show for the rest of your life, but you can see it as many times as you want, what would you see?
Oh my God, you're talking to somebody with ADHD who hates sitting down. I don't know if I want to see a show that many times in a row. If I had to see one show, well, I want something that'll make me laugh. Because
Make them laugh,
Make 'em laugh, all
Don't
the
you
way.
know everyone wants to laugh?
You know, I think I'd want to see something like The Play That Goes Wrong. Yeah,
I'll give you that.
yeah.
That's a good one. All right, where can we find you online, get connected with you for your next projects? I'm sure there are many.
You can catch me at Mr. Brady Baby on Instagram. You can catch me on Facebook at either the official Wayne Brady, or there's a Wayne Brady. That's me. On YouTube, I have my channel where you can catch all the back episodes of my podcast, What If, and also episodes of Whose Line and other things like that. I no longer have an ex because it's the devil. And my current project, season 18 of America's beloved game show, Let's Make a Deal. We start shooting that in 2 weeks. And then when I finish shooting that, you can catch me in the Encore series playing Georges in La Cage aux Folles opposite the incredible Billy Porter.
Whoa.
And then I'll be doing Tina Landau's new show at the Vineyard Theater off Broadway called Ms. Black for President.
Booked and blessed,
Booked
sir.
and blessed, baby.
You got it going. Well, thank you so much. I am on theater_podcast on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Leave a rating and leave a review. Spread the word. Thanks to Jukebox the Ghost for the intro and outro music. Thanks to welcome-to-timesquare.com for the lovely use of the studio. And thank you to Mr. Lil Wayne Brady.
Thank you, sir. Little Wayne, baby. Weezy up, baby.
Take a deep breath, make the world a little colorful.